Okay, we were discussing our approach to do about reforming our school systems. So what we discussed was play is very important part of learning, and in fact everything starts with the play. And human beings, putting in the words of Michael Shermer, are pattern-seeking, storytelling animals. The story part is extremely important in learning. If we only tell the piece today, how the things are happening, how we are measuring time today is not enough unless we tell how our understanding on the time and the events and the, how things pass in our life, what kind of understanding we developed from day one when the human being got this kind of a consciousness about time to till today, and how we are moving forward. So we have to tell the stories of the things. The play is a very important thing. Almost everybody who has contributed to the original thoughts and learning process, for example in geometry, in geometrical thinking, if I can cite Von Heel, or if he said it starts with the play. Developing geometrical thinking always begins with the play. Albert Einstein said play is the highest form of research. So play is extremely important, and play in a way extends children's concepts on learning. If you let them play around with the things and let them make different patterns and combinations and ask them different questions along the way, then you'll find out that in many things they simply will surprise you, and we tend to underestimate children's capacity to explore, and they get bored with the process because they want to explore things in much faster way than we adults actually think about. But our role as adult, or as a teacher or as a parent, should be to extend that process. If they are playing with the toy, our role is, why if I try to kind of balance it when it's not moving, I can't balance it, but when it starts moving, it balances. The same thing happens with the bicycle. If it's not moving, it tends to fall down, but it's moving, then I can ride with it. What's the reason? Why does this hop, and why does it crawl? What advantages has in the hopping, and how come its mechanics works like this? So our role is actually to extend that learning and let them discover, oh guys, how come these are circles inside, and how many are these, and what are they telling about? And the children will come up with even interesting questions. Oh, why there is a spot over it? What this could be kind of what story this spot is telling us about. So that's how they can learn things in a natural way. We have to keep their curiosity on. Totally converse to the existing system, which actually kills the curiosity, and let them play with how the buckyball works, and they see things moving around them, but they really don't know how the shafts and the gears and the cranks inside work. Give them tools. These are all what I'm showing you. This one, this one, this one. These are all children made things in our learning lab using the woodcutters, using 3D printers. Give them a few of these gears and ask them, why if I move around them, how much distance it would travel, and let them discover pi, and let them discover cycloids, and let them discover these things, and we can extend their actually knowledge. You guys, why this thing, which if it starts moving inside, it kind of behaves like a circle in that terms. And even if they make a vehicle with this kind of tires, it will still kind of move flat, and they will be really inspired, and let them explore how these things of constant curves really work. Why some countries make coins either of these 5 corners or the 7 corners or 9 corners. How come it behaves with lots of machines like a circle, and what's actually happening on this curve? And we can kind of extend their concepts with very simple things. We can teach them with these kind of stars, which they can cut with their scissors and papers, and let them explore how much this angle is. Now this one question, and they'll keep exploring. This is how much, and this is how much, and this is how much, and this is how much, what kind of shape it is, and what possibly the angles are. And believe you me, you tell them nothing, and after 10 minutes of discovery, they will be able to find out all these angles by themselves, knowing just one fact, that this is 180 and these are complementary angles. And just give them this and see how give them to an adult as well, and give them to the children, and you will find the difference. The children are much more capable than we really think, provided we give them environment and we do not come in their way of learning. Give them these kind of interesting questions. Okay, what if I roll down a thing on this path or this path or this path, where under the gravity it will come down under the shortest path? And this is a kind of deeper question. Simple questions are always deeper questions. We have kind of found out that something that you learn by doing, it lasts with the children, and they enjoy it, and they share it with the other children. And when you share your knowledge, that is the level we want to achieve, where children can think about it and children can transfer that knowledge. So the first stage is that a surface level understanding of what is happening. And when we ask why question, why if I put it here, I put it here, or put it anywhere, I always get a sort of a 90-degree angle. Now let them discover this, and in 10 minutes you can tell them these 4 or 5 circle related theorems and the Thales theorem around this kind of a tool, which can be easily actually made by the children themselves. That from the surface learning, through questions, we come to the deeper level of learning, and we actually want them to be at the transfer level of learning, where they can think about thinking, where they can express and communicate how did I come to understand this concept, and they can pass on this concept to their peers. And that's very easy. And another part, and not only that the children enjoy this process, that's for sure, the adults, we as teachers, as parents, enjoy even more than that, because most of these things we're coming through a system which had taken out fun from the learning, and only the labor of the learning was left in the process. The other very important component that is part of it is the story component. The story is a very essential element in the learning, and that story is, you don't just tell what is happening today. Tell what our understanding was when we were born on this planet, and how that understanding developed over a period of time. We can always tell them, for instance, it can be the story of time, it can be story of cell, it can be story of atom, it can be story of the earth, it can be story of the sun. Everything has a story, and that will develop their habit and their a kind of a curiosity. Where did it came from? What we used to do earlier. We should tell them that we used to count with machines like this, and we used to write with things like this, and we didn't have zeros, and how from this eventually we came to this machine which now works totally differently. But from this to this, there are things. We came up with Napier bones, we came up with Lucas rods, we came up with slide rules, we came up with, now all these things that we came up in the process, that is about a 1 hour journey, but this 1 hour journey connects them to the history of the things and also connects them to where we are going and what. And a very interesting part of that journey is that there are still many questions unanswered. And interesting part is not that there are many questions unanswered. We have yet more things to explore than as humans we have yet answered in the science. So this play and story really takes them to a deeper level, and this is what connects you and hooks them into the process. Each child is different, and each child in this process will pick up different things and of their interest. That's why exposing them to variety of things is very important. And then the variety is all around us, our bodies and plants and the sticks and with a simple piece of papers, and these all things can be done. These recipes, which are play and story and question and then reflection, these stories around each concept, that is the part which the research team has to play, and this should reach out to the teacher and actually to the system, what kind of play the teacher can start. So teacher is an actor. The teacher as an actor needs to be given a minimal of script and a minimal of direction, so that by design we have good teachers. Now we don't have good teachers by design, we have good teachers by chance. Incidentally, in 16 years of a journey, we get inspired by 1 or 2 teachers, and if we do not like a subject, as Walter Lewin put it, there is actually a bad teacher behind it. Bad teacher because he couldn't find things which he could play with on that concept, or he could let children play. He didn't know the story of that thing. He didn't know why we study logarithm. He didn't ask good questions. Why we write one for a lot of things which are this, whereas for 11 things which one seems to be like 1 and 1. How come we developed this kind of writing style? They don't ask these questions. And the last part is reflection. Okay, why we are doing what we are doing. So this is the methodology on each concept, and which we are trying to follow. And in the next we will tell you a couple of examples, and we move on to our elementary stage, how the things go gradually from elementary stage, from the language development to numeracy to other concepts. Thank you very much.